Hello Stampers, I'm Susan Malloy of Silver Lady Stamping, and I am also an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I want to show you how to make a triple fold card, and this particular one that I made was with the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper and the Penguin Place stamp set. Now, let me just show you what this looks like. So we'll just pull the belly band off, and I've used coordinating design, paper from that Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper, and then I also fussy cut a little penguin on a sled and adhered it down to the last page. And then what you have is you have a nice panel here to write your sentiment, and then the designer series paper is there to kind of take center stage and look and just look really pretty. And then I also added just a strip of plain white on the corner just to kind of make it coordinate with the other piece, so it didn't just look like a blank spot. But I mean, you could write a little sentiment there as well if you wanted to. And you could also do a little fussy cutting of a small, the small snowman, for example, and put him in there. And maybe I'll do that for another project myself. And that way you would have a little something with visual interest on the inside. So that would be kind of cute. And then it just folds flat. And you just slide the belly band on it. And then I fussy cut the little penguin with the hat. Now we have the plain penguins in that paper, and you can cut the penguins out using the penguin punch. And it's really super easy to do that, and it comes out just like that, just the black and white penguin. Oh, I dropped something. Oh, there we go. So this particular project with the belly band, I'll give you the dimensions, all the measurements on it. And I'm going to make a triple fold card, but I'm going to do it without a belly band. But as I said, I will give you the dimensions so in case you want to do do one with a belly band. So this particular one also, I did it with Night of Navy cardstock base. And the one that we're going to do today, I decided I would use, because the penguin is black and white, that I would use black cardstock. So I'm just going to give you quickly what the measurements are for the triple fold card. So for the card base, you'll want the card base to be 11 by 5.5, and then you're going to score it at 1 3/16, and that's going to be the skinny strip. And then you're going to score it at 4, and then again at 6 3/4. Then you're going to cut the designer series paper in 3 coordinating different patterns, and I'll show you that when I start showing you my pieces. You'll want to cut one at 5 1/4 by 4, 5 1/4 by 2.5, and 5 1/4 by 1. Then you'll want to cut 2 pieces of basic white cardstock at 5 1/4 by 1 and 5 1/4 by 2.5. So if you want to do one with a belly band, you'll want to cut a strip of cardstock that coordinates with the card base, and you'll want that to be 11 inches by 1 inch, and then you'll score it at 3 1/2 and 7 3/4. And then what you'll do is you'll just adhere the 2 pieces on the back. Let me show you. Oh, I did, yeah. So I don't know if you can really see it. You can see the little strip here. So they'll come around the back, and then you'll just adhere them together. Now, I also put a strip of designer series paper. That's optional. You can do that if you want. You don't have to. And then I cut a piece of white cardstock just for the sentiment. And like I said, I fussy cut a penguin just to add it to the belly band. And you can kind of put whatever you want on your belly band. If you want to put a snowman on it from the designer series paper, you can do that. And then I just use a sentiment to the coolest friend ever. I just love this paper. I'll show you what all of it looks like. I've got a lot of mine like cut up like crazy. So, and this is the one that you would use to punch the penguin out. So I'll just do one as a, we'll just show you how this goes. You're just going to line it up as best you can and give it a punch, and you get the little penguin. It's as easy as that. So really no fuss about that. So this is, and obviously it's always two-sided, so you get a nice like just design that you can use for really any project. It doesn't have to be winter or seasonal. You can use it for a birthday card, whatever you want. So that's one of them. And this is the paper that I use to cut to fussy cut the penguin on my belly band. My belly band right here. So I just fussy cut around them. Because the punch doesn't match the arms of the penguin, so it would cut part of that off. You can also fussy cut the snowman, which I did, and have that one set aside. And they're really not difficult to cut around. So that was super easy. But it has a fox, and these are the larger images. And then there's, and this one has a blue stripe on the back. And then this sheet has a little bit smaller images, putting a snowman together, little fox, a little bunny, really some cute images. And and the back of that one has just kind of dots, random, colorful dots on it. And this would make great birthday paper. I think it would be really pretty for a birthday card. Let's see. We have one of the sides is little trees, and this is more of the images, but a little bit different than the ones that I showed you. And then let me see if I can find it. I want to see if I can find the one that has. Oh, here it is. This is one that I think is like just the cutest, because it shows a penguin sledding down the hill, being pulled by a polar bear. I just think this one is just so cute. Loved it. And that's what I used on the inside of my other card. I just fussy cut the little penguin going down the hill. And let's see. Oh, this one is pretty too. This opposite side. Again, kind of generic. You could use it for any kind of a card. It doesn't matter. I love both sides of this particular designer series paper. Oops, that's my stamp set. It's just super cool. All right, so that's what that looks like. And all right, so why don't we get started? So like I said, I'm using black cardstock for this particular one, and this, like I said, this is not going to have a belly band. I'm going to do cut squares using the layering squares dies. I'll show you what that looks like. So this is the layering squares dies, and there's a bunch of different square sizes, and I thought I would just use it to make a flap, and you've probably seen those on other cards, and so it will, it'll adhere to this left panel. All right, so I'll set that aside for now, but like I said, we're going to have I'll show you the different pieces based on the sizing. Oh, I got a little sunspot coming in through the window, hitting my paper. I'll move this over so the sunspot's not quite hitting it. You know, maybe I'll come in a little bit more. Hopefully that's not going to be too much of a close-up. You know, it might be. I'll just come up a little bit. All right, so this particular piece right here, I decided I would do for the inside. And so this is one side. Super cute, right? Sometimes it's hard to choose which side you want to use. But because I'm going to use that paper on the front, I just thought it would be too busy to put it on the inside. So I'm going to use this side, and this is 5.5 by 4. And so that will go on the inside. I'm just going to lay it inside so you can see what it's going to look like. So that's the inside. Then I'm using, for the next piece, I'm using, this one is 5.5 by 2.5. All right, and I'm going to layer that one in that spot. And then this last spot, I'm going to use the trees. And that is measuring 5, oh, did I say 5.5? No, these are all 5.25. My apologies, because 5.5 is the card base. 5.25 by 4 is the last panel, 5.25 by 4. Then this piece is 5.25 by 2.5. And then this is 5.25 by 1. And I do have the measurements correct on my sheet of paper, if you need to look at it again. All right, and then once we adhere that down, then what I did is I took a larger layering square die, and then I used a slightly smaller one to cut a piece of designer series paper, and I kind of strategically placed it on the paper so I'd get a penguin sledding down the hill. And then I'll adhere those two together, and then I'll adhere it to this left panel. It'll be like that, but I think I'm going to push it up a little bit because I didn't really have a spot for my sentiment, so I'm thinking about just adding a sentiment strip underneath it. So that's how I'm going to do it. All right. Oh, and then I need the one piece of the white, which is 5.25 by 2.5, and that'll be on the inside, this side, and then this piece is going to go on the other side. That's 5.25 by 1. So the simple part is really just adhering it down. And now you can use liquid glue, or you can use your Stampin' Seal, whatever you're most comfortable with. I'm going to take out my Stampin' Seal just to have it there. I'm going to adhere down my first piece of designer series paper. Here we go. All right, might as well just move straight across it, and I'm going to put the piece of white cardstock on the next panel. Well, looks like I have a little piece of glue. I can get that off in a minute. I'll adhere that down. And I'll get my glue eraser. Let's see if I don't, hopefully I won't make a bigger mess. Oh no, there it goes. Gets it right off. That's a glue eraser. A friend of mine told me, now mine looks, it's getting a little gucky looking. Friend of mine told me that she found these at the Dollar Tree store. I went to my local Dollar Tree store and it was not in the craft section at all. So I don't know if my store isn't stocking them or were they sold out. I don't know, but I think I need to get a new one. But anyway, these are great. They're just made out of, I don't know, some sort of gum rubber. And then you can just erase the glue that you get on your cardstock or wherever. So check out your Dollar Tree store for one of these, because I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I know it was more than $1. Okay, so there's that. And then we have this piece. I'm going to tack this one down in the next spot. Okay. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal for the last piece because I want to just show you. I know some people have a hard time with the Stampin' Seal, or I know I did when it was first released, and it wasn't like the snail that we used to use, and you would put it down and you would just put it down flat and run it across. Really, the way that you want to do this, and I don't know if I can, so you'll want to face it down. So you want to tip it up. Let me move this out of the way. So we used to do the snail kind of flat this way, but you want to tip the end up so that it's almost vertical, and then run the tape that way. So if you hold it up instead of down, hold it up in the air, almost vertical, and then I think you'll find it runs across the paper really, really easily. I was so frustrated in the beginning, honestly. I was ready to throw them away. I just said, I'll put them aside. And then I started using it more, and I went, oh, I'm using it wrong. So that's how you do it. Okay, so now we have these pieces. And the only other piece I need to do is, I'll use my snail, my Stampin' Seal again. The last piece we're going to tack on is the strip on the front. Okay. Here we go. So there's the card. Pretty nice, right? It really comes together so easily. So I decided too that, let's see, I cut out some fussy cut ahead of time, some of these guys. Actually, this guy looks so cute against that background, right? Because he's wearing a little blue hat and scarf, and this paper has, that same coloration. I also have this guy that just sits in there. Super cute, right? You could put both of them in there. You want to be careful about what how if you want to leave this blank, you don't want to put them next to each other and have, and then close it and have half of the image showing. That doesn't look so great. You could, put it a little off kilter a little bit like that, but maybe you just want one as a little decoration like that. And then you could put this guy over here. Maybe I'll do that. I like that. Okay. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal again. I'm just going to run one strip down the middle. There we go. And I'm going to do one strip down the middle of this guy too. Okay, and I'm going to put him over here. And there's still enough room for to write your sentiment. Now it looks really cute. So anybody that likes penguins, and really honestly, who doesn't like penguins, they're gonna, when they open it up, they're gonna love that. So then, like I said, I had I used the layering squares dies to cut. I used a larger one to cut from black cardstock, and then a little smaller one to cut the designer series paper. So I'm going to, you know what? Let me move this up. Use some liquid glue on it. And I like liquid glue personally because there's a little, a couple of seconds of forgiveness if you have to move it around. Whereas the Stampin' Seal, it affixes immediately. Okay. So I'm thinking I want to place it around there because I'm going to, oh, you know what? I probably should cut a piece of black cardstock to go on the background of that. Let me see if I have some. I have tons of black. Let me just grab my paper trimmer. Okay, let me see. What do I have here for a measurement? All right, so this little guy is just like a little less than 3 by 1. Okay. So I'll cut my paper. Pieces. All right, I'm going to cut it. You know, that's not even straight, so I'm going to. So I did that at, that's 1. So I'm going to cut it at, oh, I want to do it a little bit more than 1. Okay, let's see how that works. And then, all right, a different piece of paper there. I don't like that one. I'm going to cut it at a little less than 3, so I'm going to do it at, let's see, 3 1/4 might be too much, but let's just see. And then 1 1/4. And then let's see how that matches up. Yeah, that looks kind of okay. All right, we'll just go with that. Yeah, I think it looks better when it's got a little background on it, right? And we'll do that. Okay. But before I adhere it to the black piece, I want to stamp the sentiment, just in case I mess up the sentiment. I don't have to cut all of it over again. So this one is going to be, it says, be cool, be chill, be merry. And that's from the stamp, from the Penguin Play stamp set. Be cool, be chill, be merry. Okay. Now, because it's a photopolymer stamp, it's better if you put it onto, now I have a foam mat, but Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these anymore. If you have a thick pad of paper, then put it on that. But it when you're stamping with your photopolymer stamps, it gives a better image if you have something underneath it. Okay, there we go. All right, move this out of the way. There, I'm gonna just, oops. Give it a little back rub. Okay. Now I am going to just see where I want to adhere this. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue just on this left-hand side. Okay. All right. You see, it's like it opens like that. And then I'll do the same thing with the sentiment label. I'll just put some glue on the left side of the sentiment label. Hold it down for a sec, let it just set for a minute. And there we have it. Now, you can certainly add some gem dots to that if you want to. You could add, make a bow and add a little ribbon to it if you want to. That would look super cute. But here we have this really, really cute, and then it opens up this way. And then you write your sentiment in there. Oops, a little something on it. Write your sentiment on it. You have your little images that make it look super cute on the inside. And then it closes up and fits into a regular envelope. So again, let me bring in the other one that I made that has the belly band on it. So similar cards, both triple fold cards, but are just done a little bit differently for you to consider. So I want to thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. And please tune in again for another tutorial. Thank you.